Alright, so it's finally time to film this video. I waited as long as I could, got all of the knee-jerk reactions out of my system. I don't like where my camera is angled here. Um, it also took me this long to record this because one, I'm lazy, and two, the Cowboys Seahawks game that's still going on is really good today. Russell Wilson is getting the MVP this year. I don't care who says it. All right, but we get to talk about things less exciting, and that's Minnesota because Minnesota Vikings is what this channel is about. That and the rest of the NFL, but it's called Ohio because that's where we come to enjoy our despair. So the Vikings lose to the Titans in dramatic fashion, an absolute dramatic collapse, if you will. The offense played 59 minutes where they pretended that the first two games did not happen, and then for the last minute they decided to be the dumpster fire that they've been for the whole season. And it's disappointing because here we are again talking about another loss in a season that feels like it's just going down the drain. So we're 0-3. We're the only team left in the NFC North that hasn't won a game. Detroit just won their game against Arizona on a last minute field goal, go figure. And it's frustrating. Like, there are silver linings from this game. There are things to take away this time. You know, they played some competent football. But at the same time, that's all waste. You know, Justin Jefferson, who I am glad finally broke out today with his 170 yards and a touchdown, 7 catches, looked really good, like the receiver that we need him to be. Just fantastic all around performance by him. And it's absolutely wasted. You know, there is no point in picking picking and choosing or cherry picking anything you want about the good stuff that came out of this when you still lose. Like, there's just no point. It's a wasted performance. It's good that it happened, and it's good that it's a building block going forward. But in the grand scheme of things that happened and took place today in the win column, it ended up not mattering. So we blew it. And Kirk Cousins is lucky. Like, there are some rumblings going on right now. And you can just tell in the post-game press conferences where Mike Zimmer said that final drive was chaos, which is true, and that Kirk Cousins is, sort of not being openly hostile with the press, but sort of subtly jabbing at his head coach, saying that, anytime you get 464 yards of offense and 30 points, that should be enough. You should win the game, which is also slightly true. But at the same time, Cousins is lucky that pick six that he threw was negated by a penalty. So he could have actually made it that much effing worse. That much fucking worse. I don't know why I censored myself just now. So everybody is to blame here, but the fact that they got the defensive performance out of these players that they did this time just goes to show you that the coaching is better than the talent, because the talent ascended when they put in a game plan that worked. The defense did a lot better in disguising their coverages today, utilizing the safeties in different patterns that really confused Tannehill and made him have to change up his game. Corey Davis has been having a good season up until this point, had a pretty pedestrian game today. Same thing with Jonnu Smith. Derrick Henry, I knew we were never going to be able to stop because of the interior defensive line is just so terrible and our run defense is bad, and we lost Anthony Barr. So I expected Derrick Henry to have a good game, and he did. And that is what it is. So the fact that the offense comes out, this is what it's supposed to be. You pay these guys all this money, Kirk Cousins in particular, and you put them in the situation where it's time to, move the ball down the field, game-winning drive. You don't even need a touchdown, just get into field goal range. You got a minute 44. You've got no timeouts, sure, but then you just lay a complete fucking egg. It's unexcusable. And yes, the bad snap is on Garrett Bradbury, no questions asked. But they went from 1st and 10 to 4th and a mile in a blink of an eye, and they didn't even stand a chance. And the fact that Kirk Cousins wants to, subtly jab at anybody for anything is laughable at best, because there is a clip from the end of that game where there's a 3-man pass rush. He immediately panics and throws the ball at the feet of the check down, which I think was either Dalvin Cook or Madison. I don't remember who it was. And it didn't even come close to being a completion. Just threw it right at his feet. 3-man pass rush, and he's terrified. And yes, we don't have good pass protection. I said that in a video last week where I was going over the starting guard positions with Pat Elflein being on IR. And I knew that, it wasn't going to be good because Drew Samia is not ready to be a starter in this league. He gave up five pressures last week. I don't know what the numbers were today. I haven't looked at them yet. But the pass protection is not good. And then, as I've said previously in a video last week, when you are putting this team into obvious passing downs, which is what that final drive was, you can just go at them. Vrabel probably told his defense, look, they can't pass protect. Go get them. So it's disappointing. You shouldn't be wasting these performances by Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. Hopefully, Dalvin Cook is also okay. That's another thing, with he came up hobbling a little bit on his last run. Hopefully, it's just cramps and nothing serious. But at this point, anyway, I don't think it matters. The season is on the brink of being lost. At 0-3, it's just a bigger hole than 0-2 ever could be. I don't know what the statistics are for 0-3. Somebody can in the comments can let me know. I'll probably look them up at some point when I get ready to do another video here in the coming days. But there's not really much left to talk about. I mean, this is what the team should look like on offense anyway. This is what they wanted it to be, where a lot of commitment to the run game, play action pass, throwing receivers open on timing routes, and putting up 30 points. It's just that the mistakes on offense are too much to overcome. We got really lucky with the pick six being negated by a penalty. The pass protection in the offensive line is just piss poor. There's nothing they can do about it, because they've decided to ignore the interior of the offensive line and the offensive line in general for years straight. And the offensive line used to be one thing that was really good in Minnesota, especially on the left side with when we had Bryant McKinney and Steve Hutchinson and all them guys. And it's just been ignored for a number of years now. So there's not much we can do about that. And then on defense, we're just too inexperienced. Danielle Hunter may be out longer than we expected. He'll probably be off 3-week IR here next week, but I doubt he plays against Houston, because today we learned that the minor little tweak that he had was a herniated disc. So I don't really see him coming back anytime soon. If he plays against the Texans, I will be amazed. So that's about it for the reaction to this game today. We are the last winless team in the NFC North. Everybody else has a win except us. Playoffs, even with the expanded playoff format this year, seem unreachable. This season is likely lost, and I don't know where we go from here. A lot of the Vikings fans online are already, saying tank for Trevor, lose for Lance, which I can get on board with, because I hate Kirk Cousins. I've never liked him. Anybody who knows me knows that I've hated that contract since the day that he signed it, and just seeing him play on the field with $84 million to be captain check down, and yeah, we don't have good pass protection, but at the same time he doesn't elevate the talent around him. He sort of feeds off of it. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance would be pretty nice. I wouldn't mind Trey Lance to Justin Jefferson all day. That'd be cool. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.